saw this meme and I had to break down, what does adjusted EBITDA really mean? Here's a meme. When you finally understand what adjusted EBITDA just means, we're actually losing money, but let's not focus on that. Let's get into it. So we know EBITDA is basically how a firm determines how much it earns before it takes out your taxes, depreciation, all that good stuff. Now, adjusted means that the firm actually adjusts what is reported as EBITDA. Just for this scenario, let's say you have a friend who's 5 feet tall. Let's say he goes back and he says, I'm 5'2" in boots. Is he 5'2"? He is with boots, but by himself he isn't. That's kind of how adjusted EBITDA is looked at in this scenario. Let's say a company makes $1 million, but they gave out $3 million to their employees via stock. Now they might say, oh, our adjusted EBITDA is $4 million because we actually had a non-cash expense, aka stock-based compensation. And people might look at this and do a little bit of a double take for a few reasons. One, some investors or bystanders might think that this add back just misrepresents the company in general. If I have $1 million sitting in the cash account and I do a $3 million stock-based compensation that I add on to my top line revenue, well, if I didn't have the cash to pay out in the first place and now I'm adding it back, am I adding back money on a false pretense or money that I never had in the first place? People also don't like it because they say, hey, there's still a cost here to shareholders, right? If I'm a shareholder and you issue $1 billion more worth of stock, well, that means that I'm going to get diluted and get a smaller earnings per share, and technically my shares are worth less money. You want to remember using stock-based compensation as an example here. You just want to be wary when companies are doing add backs, and you want to make sure that these add backs are stuff that should be added back and taken into consideration for a business.